Jason, what do you think of the Cam Jurgens selection? Are you looking forward to kind of helping him his rookie year?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a video out there. I'm pretty excited about the kid. I liked him a lot. I like his tools. I like his mentality. Probably overstated a little bit my involvement in that selection, so I'd like to probably step that back a little bit. I mean, I think I've looked at a few guys the past couple years when they've asked my opinion, but he's here obviously because Jeff Stoutland and Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni, all these people really watch that tape and believe in him. And I think, although he does have a lot of similar traits to me, he's going to be his own player, and I'm looking forward to, being helping out in any way I can with any of these young guys, in particular, Cam.
Along those lines, Jason, when you put on the scouting hat, how do you balance, you are such a unique player, so looking for guys who are like you could be a problem because it's not like your athleticism is the only reason you're as good as you are. So what else about him sort of jumped out to you?
Well, I mean, athleticism is a big part of my game, and I think when you watch Cam run, you kind of watch offensive linemen run. You can tell which guys used to be athletes, which guys have primarily been offensive linemen their whole careers, and what they look like when they're out in the open space, moving, how their hips move, how they're, how explosive they are. But I try not to look for people in terms of what do I do. I kind of just look at it in terms of what they do and what I like about their game. And Cam's got a number of things as well as a number of the guys in this roster. But Cam not only is athletic, he plays hard, he's physical, he's tough. He's all the times you see him, miss a block. A lot of it is just over-aggression or not tempoing it properly, and very correctable things. So I think you're looking at all that stuff whenever you're looking at any young guy or my own tape. I think you're trying to find out, which one of these mistakes are correctable. Is he strong enough? Is he fast enough? Are there things that make him unique? All those things.
Third spring rec, you mentioned.
I'm sorry, I don't know who we're going.
No, sorry. You mentioned looking at other guys, steers that Howie in the front office has.
Yeah.
To do that.
Mm-hmm.
Without giving away, what's your track record? Did you accurately
No,
say,
well,
that guy's going to be good?
No, and I think a big part of them asking my opinion is really just them saying, "Hey, we're going to draft your replacement here. Are you okay with this?" I think let's all be honest here. But I think, I love looking at young guys. I love looking at guys on our team and trying, the whole mentality of self-improvement and, reaching your potential is something that I certainly love being a part of. I've loved my own journey of that, and I'd love to help other guys reach their potential. So, I enjoy watching, which guys have, what their skill sets are, what separates them, and, obviously draw a lot of that from Stout and from the different guys in our room and kind of what we all kind of, collectively, think are important attributes for different positions.
It's our third spring asking you this, so I don't know if the answer is different, but what made you want to come back this year?
Last year was a lot of fun towards the end of the year. I mean, obviously the bowl game or the playoff game didn't end up well, but I think that for us, we saw a lot of improvement. We saw the team get better throughout the year. I had a lot of fun with Nick as the head coach and how everything went. So it was it was when I stepped back and thought about it. First of all, you're thinking, physically, can you do it again, and where do you feel, and then once I kind of felt like I was okay on that end, it was pretty much a no-brainer. I felt like it was I still wanted to do another one. So
I know that most of the stuff you do now is lifting and meetings, et cetera, but probably the first time you've seen Jalen Hurts since the end of the season.
Sure.
What have you seen out of him 4 months later? Anything different?
No, nothing different yet. I mean, we haven't thrown any with any of the guys or worked as a team really on the field football-wise. So I know he was working with some people this year, and he's been putting in a lot of work to eventually we'll see what that looks like. But, Jalen's been a pretty consistent guy since he's been here. He's a hard worker, very much has had the right mentality. We've talked about that since he was a rookie, and you still see a guy that's hungry and itching to go out there and win some football games.
Scouting your eventual replacement? Are there mixed feelings that go with that?
No, I think I've been in some ways trying to mentor my replacement for 8 years now. I think you always want to try and help young guys and help the team be better moving forward. And I'm smart enough to realize that my time is limited, and I'd like to be a part of something that's, the only way you can live on in this game is through the players and relationships that you forged as a player. Your game is going to be what it is when it's all said and done, and that's going to be, for me, a good track record. But the way you make a lasting impact as a player, as a person, is, how you influence other people and hopefully helped others realize their dreams. So, I think that's a big part of being a veteran player, a big part of it's something you realize more and more as you get older. What's going to happen when you're done and you're leaving, and what are you leaving behind you? And you don't want to just leave behind a bunch of statistics and cool highlight blocks. At least I don't.
If you rewind that back, Jason, who are the people whose legacy you feel like you are carrying forward?
Man, a lot of guys. I mean, if I just go back to, the guys in my room, when I was young, obviously Jamal Jackson was the incumbent center. Todd Harriman was a guy that I learned a lot from as a player and a person. Evan Mathis was a little bit older guy. Jason Peters I ended up playing with for a decade and certainly rubbed off on me. And I think that there's been, everybody kind of has their moments, and different guys get more involved at different times when you need them to be. Jeff Stoutland's obviously had a big impact on me. I've picked up from a lot of different guys, and I think that's one of the reasons this organization has been pretty good. Obviously we've had our ups and downs, but over the last decade we've been, pretty damn solid, and we got a really good building and a culture that, wants to see guys get better. You don't really see an animosity with young guys. You see guys trying to help guys out and do it the right way.
When you keep playing, as long as you keep playing, as long as you keep playing and stay healthy.
Yeah. Sure.
So speaking as someone who's only played center.
I played guard. 2 snaps of guard. Gave up a sack to Jason Pierre-Paul. Not a great guard.
How hard would that transition be in the short term for him if he has to do that?
Well, first of all, I think every player, when you're young, is asked to do multiple positions until you're a starter. You're going to be asked to be, you only get to dress, 7 guys, 8 guys if you're lucky on game day. And, guys are going to have to play multiple positions if you're in that 6th, 7th man spot. So, although probably he, what's the word I'm looking for? Although he probably will, stature-wise and, as a player, he probably fits the center mold more. I'm sure that he'll play a little bit of guard, and he'll be able to do a great job at that. I'm fully confident.
Film with Stout and before that Howard. When you're evaluating a player, do you take what they taught you in terms of watching that? And could you foresee a career in that realm post playing?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I've thought about obviously what I'm going to do when I'm done, but trying to stay focused on still doing this. But it's fun to there's one thing I've spent my whole life doing. It's football, and so I've built up a lot of experience and expertise in this game, and in particular offensive line play, and a lot of that has been molded by Jeff Stoutland and the different offensive line coaches I've had throughout my career. So I think that whenever I watch something with Stout or a young guy or something like that, I think a lot of it is, he's kind of teaching me a little bit, and a lot of it we look at through the same lens because we've been doing things for so long and we think about the game very similarly. I don't know. I think I could definitely see myself enjoying doing that, but who knows what's done and what's next.
When you go through the process of trying to help younger players, how do you decide when to step in conjunction with the coaches? Like, how do you decide when to speak up and when not to?
Well, I mean, you try to, whenever you feel like there's an opportunity to help a guy out, you just kind of talk or step in. I mean, it might not be, that specific moment. You might let it calm down if the coach is making a coaching point or if it's in the middle of a drill and it's not the right moment to say something. But, there'll be a time to, get with the guy to try and, help him out. You're always trying to help. And it's not just young guys, it's veteran players too. I think when you're watching something, when you see something that doesn't look right or see something that you think is wrong, going to the guy to try to get it corrected, before, it hits the field or before it's the next drive or whatever. So, yeah, you just do it whenever you feel it's the right opportunity to do it, yeah.
What did you make of what happened with Nate?
Yeah, unfortunately, obviously Nate's been a big part of our offensive line, a big part of our team. Through the injuries for the last couple of years, he's been a really important piece, and he's played really, really well. So when I say unfortunate, it's unfortunate for us because of, what he's meant to our room and how awesome of a player and person he is. But I'm excited for him to get a really good opportunity. He's gotten some opportunities because of injuries and stuff like that. Hopefully those stop happening for us. But he's proven that he can play and be one of the better players in this league. So as a young player, I hope he gets a great opportunity to continue to showcase that.